All right. Testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everyone. How y'all doing? Argentina, right on, right on. All right, let's begin, shall we? Kane Music. Right, let's begin. Never heard of Kane Music. Is that a band? Getting baked at breakfast, right on. Nice. Right on, right on. So, it's a DJ trio? Nice. That sounds sick. Is it like a music festival you're going to or something? I guess it's Saturday, isn't it? Alright, let's see here. Let's do a unified loader. Plug that into this right here. Minimal house vibes. I really like house music. I really do. Hello, Shrisha. Alright, so let's organize these windows a bit so you can see exactly what the hell I'm even doing. That would help, wouldn't it? So let's move this over on here. I think that's good. There we go. Move this over to here. Resize that, resize that. Perfect, perfect. Football stadium concert, nice. It's a good place for a concert. Doesn't get much bigger than that. So I would like to do, let's do an upscale image node. So for context, guys, I'm going to be playing with masks again tonight. I'm going to be masking some elements. Maybe like a 3 or 4 color mask, like an RGB black or something like that. And I'm going to animate with it. Hey, Robin, how's it going? So what am I going to start by doing? I'm going to start by, well, first, I know we're going to need this node, mask from RGB, right there. We're going to need that. And we're actually going to make our mask momentarily, but let's finish setting up our comfy workflow to a large degree. Hey, Preet, how's it going? Okay, so first we're going to need our animate diff stack. Let's do animate diff. We'll do the legacy, just because it's easier that way. It's going to be the model. It's right there, and then model down to unified. Perfect. We need our context options. Right on there for our looping action. And I guess we could do a motion lure. I'm not opposed to it. And then we'll need sample settings. Right on there, we'll set that to empty, and that should be good for our animate diff stack. Let's group that up. Let's do a primitive integer, just so we can set our width and our height globally. What's this? This is Comfy UI, Queen of Nia. This is a program, open source program, for creating AI images and animations. And tonight I'm going to be making an AI animation from scratch, essentially. So let's name this width. Whoops. Width. There we go. And then height for this. Height. We'll set it to about 512 by 512. These will be our global settings for the width and height. And we'll set our latent image We'll change the widgets to inputs for this so that we can receive the width and height from elsewhere. Great. Do that, do that. And we'll plug that in right there. Thank you for sending the flag. That's very, very good. We're going to want 32 frames just to start, just to make sure it's working. And let's see. I'll probably also want the LCM LoRa, because that seems pretty standard now. Let's do that. LCM loader. Or LoRa loader, rather. LoRa loader. Okay. LCM 1.5. Perfect. And that should be good to go. Alright, let's just try a quick video prompt just to make sure it's working. We'll set the sampler and schedule to LCM and then SGM uniform. Steps to 12, CFG to 2. And then lastly, we're going to need an input image for our IP adapter. Let's actually turn that off for the moment just to make sure the animation's working. I think it will. Oh, we're going to want to output to a video combine, not an image preview. Video combine. There we are. Beautiful. So much goes on behind the scenes. Yeah, Robin, for sure. There's a lot that goes on under the hood. What platform is Ribis you are running locally, please? The program I'm running locally is called Comfy UI, and you can see the name of it at the top of the screen, or at least you should be. Let's see. Shoot. Go. Come on. Comfy UI. Yes, correct. Oh, that's ugly, but at least it shows that it's working, which is the important thing. But why is it so ugly? Probably because of the model. Let's try a different model real quick. And then we'll tone down the LoRa too. I think the LoRa is fucking it up too. You're very welcome, Dan. Let's also start, so I want to make a 3 or 4 color mask for us to play with. So I'm going to just use something from here. Something pretty rudimentary, pretty basic. I just want like a standard headshot. And I want to like break it into different colors. You know what? Let's do this. 512 by 512. Then we'll bring this in. Yeah, I think this will do. I think this will do nicely. Let's fill this in a bit real quick. Generative fill. All right, so our orange animation is, it's still pretty shitty, but that's okay, because that's not the point. Hello, Boxer. Okay, not a huge fan of that. Skull, let's crop that out real quick. Not a fan of that background that I just made. Let's bring it into Canva so we can crop the background. There we are. Bring that back into Photoshop. And we'll give it a nice black background. Perfect. Make kind of green. Can it be monetized on YouTube? Great question. And unfortunately, I'm really not the best to ask because I still have not monetized yet on YouTube. Still trying to figure out the whole YouTube algorithm thing. I haven't figured it out nearly as well as I have the Instagram algorithm, but I am trying to grow my YouTube, and hopefully eventually that will happen. But yeah, for the moment, Not too much. Let's take this. Let's do that. Make that green. Color that in. And let's make the rest of our little stuffs. So we'll do this for the eyes. This will be blue. Come on. Okay. And then we'll do the mouth too, I think. Okay. Make that red. Okay, okay. Alrighty. Beautiful. Look at our little friend here. I was arguing with my friend that air can actually be a tool for artists, but I didn't realize how complicated. Yeah, yeah, I have some pretty complicated feelings on that, as I'm sure many of us do. I definitely believe that AI art can be art. It isn't necessarily art, but it can be art, and I think it's a lot more nuanced than people give it credit for. It depends on who's wielding it, how you're making it, all kinds of different factors. So to oversimplify it by saying it is art, it isn't art, it's just another political point to like divide people over. But the reality of it is it's so much more nuanced. At least that's my opinion. So let's take skull mask, save that to the downloads. Now we should have a nice mask to work with. So load image. We're going to want to resize as well. Actually, maybe upscale. Upscale image? Yes, upscale image. And we'll change the inputs, the widgets to inputs. Convert that to height, width and height. Plug that into the global. Like so. Plug that in too. And all right, perfect. So this will be how we get our mask. We'll plug that in, see, there's our mask. And we'll plug that into our mask from RGB node. So now we can split the colors into separate mask channels and then animate into them individually. Oh yeah, Maya, did you like the Pepsi logo I made? I'm glad you noticed. Scrolling up for a second. Jada, I don't believe that I see your earlier question or something. It looks like you want me to look back at it, but I don't see it, I'm afraid. I have a buddy that works with OpenAI, and he showed me the final product with Sora, and I have to say it will change. Yeah, no, Sora sounds very cool. I just sure wish they would release it already, because the competition is quickly picking up. Just week by week, it gets better and better, you know? But yellow duck, yeah, it is kind of duck-like, isn't it? But here's what we're going to do. We're going to call upon our IP adapter now, because our IP adapter will allow us to use images as prompts. We'll prompt our AI with images, basically. So we're going to want this resize node. We're going to use that a few times here, as well as the load image. We're going to need this. For every IP adapter, we're going to need this three-way stack right here. Upscale image, load image, IP adapter. And since we're targeting a total of 4 different color channels, red, green, blue, and black, we're going to want a total of 4 IP adapters. So first let's plug this in accordingly. Plug that in there. Plug this in here. And then let's duplicate that 3 more times. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Total of 4. Now we got to plug the model all the way on through, just to interconnect them all. So just pass that on through all the way, and the final one should go all the way back into the K-sampler. And they'll also need to be plugged into the actual unified loader as well with the IP adapter output. So once those are properly set up, we should be good. Where is the Pepsi logo? Oh, so the Pepsi logo was a story I posted like 2 or 3 days ago here on Instagram. Do I still have it handy? I don't know. I just recently backed up a bunch of files, so I'm not sure where it would be right now. Pepsi. Oh, yeah, it's right here. Here it is. Yeah, there you go. Little glimpse into my Pepsi stuffs. This UI is really similar to Touch. Yes, it's very similar to Touch Designer. A node based on all of that. I'm going to try when I'm back in the UK. Thanks for the video. Please post shared after. Yeah, no, for sure. Whatever I'm working on right now will most likely make it up onto my page. Thank you so much, Ula Lovely. I appreciate it. Star Trek Beyond. Star Trek Beyond is a show that I haven't seen. Is that a show or is it a movie? I don't even know. Okay, so we have our mask ready to go. We have our IP adapters ready to go as well, but they're each going to need to know which mask to be targeting. And that's what these outputs right here are for. So we're going to need to plug them in one by one. First, we'll start with red. The first will be red. The second will be green. The third will be blue. And finally, the last one will be black. And as you can see, what's great about this node is it supports up to 8 different color channels, which is just crazy. Oh, thanks, Dan. Appreciate you. Glad that you're that you stopped by. Take it easy. Oh, movie series? Star Trek Picard. I never did watch the Picard series, but I was kind of interested in it. It seemed kind of interesting to me. Just because I kind of like those old man stories of like older, like Logan and stuff like that. Kind of got similar vibes, but I never got around to watching it. I was never huge into Star Trek. I was definitely more into Star Wars, if anything. But nothing against Star Trek. I just never got around to watching it. I have a feeling I would probably love it, though, if I actually sat down and watched Star Trek. I have a feeling it would be very relevant to my interests. So, let us now... What should we do here? I'm thinking we should insert separate images for each of the 4 color channels. Let's just throw in any old random thing. We'll do this for number 1. I'm just not putting a lot of thought into it right now. I just want to make sure it works. So we're going to throw in 4 very disparate different images to ensure that it is working. There we go. I think that'll be good. Actually, let's do that. Okay. Let's try that out. Oh, it's missing the width and height. That's right. Oh, it didn't carry that over. That's annoying. Okay, hang on, guys. So we got to plug the width and the height into each of these upscale nodes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And number 8. Okay, let's try it now. There we go. Now we're moving. What are you saying? Muddle in Twitch. You alright there, bud? AI Digital Media Agency, the Civitai account, OST workflow for logo. Yeah, there's definitely a few logo animation workflows out there. It's definitely not like proprietary or anything like that. It's familiar ground that others have covered as well, but yeah, there's definitely different ways to approach it, and it's definitely not like a silver bullet thing. You got to kind of really like massage the AI every time it's a different logo or text, depending on like how complex it is and stuff. And Naz, this is Comfy UI. You are currently looking at Comfy UI. It's an open source program for AI image and video generation. And it's based on nodes, as you can see. It's a series of interconnecting nodes that each do a special thing and each talk to one another in order to produce outputs like this. But at the moment, I'm trying to animate this very simplistic looking skeleton mask with 4 different images, art, red, green, blue, and black, and I'm trying to paint these reference images into each respective mask. So that's what I'm currently trying to construct. And I'm just racking my brain now over why it hasn't produced what I want it to produce. So we have the model. What am I missing here? What if I turn off the LoRa? Let's try that. If need be, I'll look back on a previous workflow to see what I'm missing here, because I've tread this territory before. I'm just trying to build it back from memory. But if need be, we will look back at reference. For one thing, I know this should be set to high strength, not low strength. That's going to make a difference right off the bat. Huh. Okay, yeah, still no luck. Still no dice. But let's investigate further. So we got this, we got this. Ah, the beta schedule, that's probably going to make a difference. So we'll set that. We will turn our motion LoRa off altogether. We don't really need that right now. Okay, we got that, we got that. Mask. And yeah, let's try it another time. I'm also going to start... should I use control nets yet? I don't think I need to. Not for the purpose of this. What am I making? Well, I'm kind of just playing around with masking. I'm trying to take these 4 different colors, red, green, blue, and black, and I'm trying to animate each separate section using these 4 images as the reference for each respective mask. Now, clearly, it hasn't worked yet, but we're going to figure it out. If need be, I'll look back on an old workflow that does accomplish this task, and I'll see what I'm missing out on. But I just wanted to see if I could build it from scratch. Ooh, okay, now we're talking. Now we're getting a lot further. What did I change to get this result this time? So clearly we're in a much better spot now. I think it's because I adjusted the beta schedule. Seems like that made a huge difference, actually. So, okay, not too shabby. It's not really adhering perfectly to the mask, but... Gosh, I wish I could prompt the mask with, like, this is the mouth, this is the eyes, etc. Well, whatever. Why is there an orange? Never mind. Because that was the prompt I started with, just to make sure the animated portion was working. Let's just replace that with 4K. Just type 4K into the prompt. Okay, so we're definitely in a better spot now, but still not quite where I want it. What if I do this? So let's convert mask to image, mask to image. We'll do that for all 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we will do a preview for each of these as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that way, now we can see just at a glance which of, just a preview of each mask isolated in space. So like this image will be like theoretically going into this white space. This will be going into this white space, etc., etc. Can I share my workflow? Maybe I'll post this up somewhere afterwards. I kind of just built this from scratch for the stream, but I don't know, maybe I'll post it somewhere. It's not like proprietary or anything. Like you can find masking workflows like this on Civitai already. Maybe not exactly like this, but close. But I'll consider posting it somewhere. Ooh, this is pretty cool now. It's just not quite where I want, because as you can see from the mask, the orientation of the skull is like looking up and looking to the left, but our end result is obviously looking in a different direction. How long until we could expect fully AI movies? Probably not as long as you think. Probably is just around the corner. Yeah, full AI games especially will be quite interesting. Like fully procedural, real-time generated AI games, which just like adapt to your playstyle or something on the fly. That would be crazy. How hardcore PC do you need to do this? Well, Comfy UI is pretty adaptable. You don't need like the best computer in the world for it, especially if you're just making images. But for the animation stuff like you see here, you're probably going to want a graphics card with no less than 8 to 12 gigs of VRAM at the least. But definitely any NVIDIA 30 series would be more than enough. I'm personally running on an NVIDIA 4090 just because this is basically my living now, so I built a pretty decent rig for it. Let me think this out. So we have this, we have this. What if we do this? What if we like take the individual elements and use those as the input images for the masks? So I'll save this as mouth. Then skull. And then lastly, we'll do eyes. Sweet. Let's try that out. I'm just curious. So mouth. Skull. Eyes. See? See that? And then for the background, we'll just do a nice rolling hill theme. Let's see how that comes out. Did you get surprised sometimes at the direction the images come out as? Oh, absolutely, all the time. This stuff constantly is surprising me. But that's honestly the fun of it. So as that's rendering, again, you'll notice that we're using the actual layers from the skull itself as our input images this time around, just to see if we can get the program to recognize the actual composition of our mask. Okay, well that definitely... Yeah, that's definitely looking a little closer to our original image, isn't it? Pretty cool, actually. So... Can AI make AI? That's a pretty deep question. I don't know. Can it? I think eventually at some level it's going to have to. If we want to like improve the systems, we'll need to employ AI to improve itself basically. And once we can figure that out, it's just like game over because it's just going to start self-replicating and improving itself exponentially by the day, by the hour. And God only knows what's on the other side of that. So this is pretty dope. Compositionally, I like it a lot more. I just want to be able to play with other elements, though. So let's copy these, put them down there for reference, and let's just play with a few other options here. Skynet, yes, exactly. So let's add some control nets now. Let's have a little more fun. Apply advanced control net. And this will allow us to, theoretically, get the AI to stay within these boundaries even more strictly than we've already achieved, if it does its job correctly. So let's take the upscale, put it there, load image again. That's kind of cool looking. That's fascinating, actually. Okay, so this time around, we're going to do a load video. I'm going to load this one right here, this depth map that I just made earlier tonight. Isn't that cool, you guys? Pretty trippy. Hello from India. Hello, how's it going, Deepanshu? Pasta, pasta, pasta. So we're going to paint over this, essentially. We're going to paint over it. So let's try that out. We're going to do that, do this. And for the control net, let's see, we'll use probably depth map because it's already a depth map. So it will fit rather nicely into the fold. So we'll do that. And we will connect it onto our prompting chain, the conditioning chain, because that's where control nets live and operate from. And let's see if that works. Q prompt. No, it didn't. That's okay. We need the width and the height. So we'll do that. We'll do that. And now it should definitely work. Yes, indeed. How expensive is this shit to do if you don't want to use your own GPU? There's definitely options available to you. Before I built this computer, I used a cloud solution, like a cloud environment, and there's different ones to choose from. I used one called Think Diffusion. This is it right here. And you can basically rent machines like by the hour or something. I forget how the pricing broke down, but it was pretty affordable for a pretty decent setup. And it's all cloud-based. You could even use it from your phone or iPad if you wanted to, but it's not an optimal setting. But definitely this would be a good option to use if you don't want to build a new computer. Oh, yeah, sure, Full. What are you sorry for, bud? No need to be sorry. Ooh. Now we're getting somewhere interesting, aren't we? Oh, this is going to be dope. Okay, so let's take the frame count. Plug that into this right here. Frame count. And we'll plug that in. Oops. Oh, right. We need to plug that into the latent image. So convert widget to input, batch size. And for the batch size, we'll rely on our input video as the decider of the total frames so that it syncs up. Yay, very welcome, Cubby Bingham. Curious if you've seen iPiv, your work serve. Yeah, iPiv, I've definitely used his workflow a number of times, his four-way morphing workflow. I'm a big fan of it. He's very talented, the stuff that he's contributed to the Comfy community. Super cool, dude. Okay, so how many frames is this going to be in total? Oh, shit. Way too many. Let's cancel that out. Oh, that's because this is the 60 frame version. No wonder. No wonder. Let's not use that one for sure. And let's find a better version, honestly. Do I have the non-60 frame version handy still? Let's see. I should. I guess I don't. Oh, you know what I can do though? I can force the rate to be something different. So let's do that. Let's restart Comfy. Okay. Danky, how's it going? Love your art. Oh, thank you, CJ. Much appreciated. I love it too. Right. So let's force the rate to 12 frames a second. Hopefully that should give us what we want. Video info, I think, is what I want now. And we'll do this, video info. I think it'll be fine. Let's just run it. This should be much more manageable. So just as a recap, we are using this input footage and we're going to be painting over it kind of as our canvas, like a stencil of sorts. And we're going to be taking these 4 images as our paint brushes, basically, or the paint on our canvas. And we're using each of those 4 images in each of these 4 colors, red, green, blue, and black. We'll be receiving one of these images respectively, respective to what you see beneath. And that will be painted accordingly. And it should be really freaking sick. Have you tried using Topaz after? Yes, I definitely incorporate Topaz into my workflow almost every time. So it's a very essential part of my workflow. But it's not the only way that I upskill my work. I also upskill stuff right inside of Comfy as well. The name of the app is called Comfy UI. And if you look at the top of your screen, you should be able to see it if it's not being covered by the other text or whatever. But you should be able to see it there. This is going to be really sick, I can tell. This is already kind of a little preview of it right here. I can't wait to see the full result, though. You are a machine. JJJJ. Hey, thank you, Xanon Music. Much appreciated. Ibex, I would love to talk about that further. Yeah, just hit me up in the DM and we can discuss it. I would love to see what your music's all about. Isn't this cool looking, you guys? So just like for full clarity, I'll kind of show you. It's kind of a mishmash of 4 images into one. That is the idea. Now, I don't know if it's obeying my masks all that much. I guess it kind of is, because it's making the background these rolling green hills just like I've told it to. So I guess in that sense it is masking appropriately. It's not like a perfect mask because it should be like facing up in that direction. But I guess that's also competing now with the contours of this video. So there's a lot at play here. Should I get ready to watch this for a few hours? I don't usually stream for any more than like an hour to an hour and a half at a time. I got a pretty packed schedule, and also it's really freaking late right now. But I'll probably be going until gosh, I don't know, 20 minutes from now, 25 minutes. Can you do an AI versus super intelligent AI battle to invent light speed in the Milky Way? That's a great idea, actually. So are you saying to an AI, have AIs compete for the outcome of that technology? Like pit them against each other so that they like produce that outcome quicker? That would be an interesting sport to watch. So this is quite a long render. It doesn't normally take this long, but again, there's a lot at play. And it's going to be worth it, I think. We have less than 2 minutes remaining. Minute and 49 left. And I think it's going to be really dope. And there's also a lot going on here, as you can see. We got IP adapters, we got control nets, we got masking. So yeah, there's a lot. This is pretty cool looking. Almost there, folks. Is this a paid tool? No, this is all completely free. All open source. What isn't free is the hardware, the computer that you need to run it, which can vary in cost dramatically. But no, all the software that you see, this is totally free and open, which is a beautiful thing. All right, we're about to see the result of our new render. It's going to look a lot like this, just because this right here is kind of a preview of the longer version, but in any event, it should be interesting. So let's see what we get. Any minute now. There we go. Sick. That's really pretty. That's really, really cool, you guys. How many frames is this? Oh, 19 frames? No wonder that took so long. Well, it's still pretty cool. Yeah, there's no reason it should have taken that long, though. And, man, I wish I still had it. Oh, you know what I can do? I can probably bring that down to load default, actually clear. And we're going to copy that node, paste it in here, and do another video combine output. And let's see if we can just make this into a 12 frame video. Okay, how long is this now? 19 seconds. That is perplexing. It shouldn't be 19 seconds. Metal Medusa. This is pretty sick. What inspired the style of art for you? Good question. I guess I just really like macabre elements, morbid, decay. Very fascinated by all that kind of stuff. Okay, so we'll use this one. This is much more reasonable, I think. Yes, we will use this one. This one's way cooler. Yeah, the Medusa look is pretty interesting, eh? Do I use Comfy to upscale? Yes, yes I do. I use Comfy and Topaz. I use both of them. Okay, this is going to go a lot faster now, I can tell. The last one we were doing had so many more frames than were necessary. Hey, Kranti, how's it going? "38 seconds left on this one. Let's see how it looks side by side with the previous results. So we're kind of building a collection too, off to the right here, of our history, I guess you could say. This is a pretty nice workflow we got already at the moment. I like it. Hey Raul, how's it going? Okay, okay. Not too bad, I guess. Okay, okay. I like it. Let's keep this party moving. Let's use a different input video to paint over. How can I upload such high quality videos on Insta? I basically just upload the highest possible quality that I would prefer to see on Instagram, which honestly is like 4K 60 frames. So my final file that I like upload to Instagram is a really high res file, higher than they probably even support. Oh, I'm getting comments on YouTube. I'm sorry, guys. I gotta be better at catching comments on multiple platforms if I'm gonna be streaming everywhere. But folks on YouTube, I am sorry for neglecting you. What are you doing? What are we doing exactly? We are making AI animations and art using open source software. I can't remember what I was talking about. All right, so let's use this. Yeah, we'll play with this one now. Let's play with this. Yeah, that'll be sick. We'll change depth to line art because that's a lot better at capturing the nuances of that input video. Oh, right, Instagram compression. But Instagram compresses the qualities. Yeah, so from what I understand, and I don't know if it's true, but at least until you have 10,000 followers, I think that's the threshold, they do some extra compression. Like, I think you're limited to 30 frame per second videos as opposed to 60. I think from what I hear, you get extra privileges after crossing 10,000 followers, including higher quality stuff like 60 frames per second. I don't know how true that is. Don't take my word for it. But in my experience, it seems like my video quality has improved as I've gotten more followers. But also, I just have higher quality videos that I'm making too. So I basically just feed Instagram the highest quality that I would prefer to see, and I allow it to downscale as it wants to, as opposed to giving it like an already 1080p video. Give it like your wish list of what you would prefer to see instead. I hope that makes sense. Just upload like 4K 60 frame, the whole shebang. Ooh, trippy. That's pretty cool. When I upload videos, they never look so good on Insta. Yeah, no, it can be hit or miss. And sometimes even Instagram will like knock my video down to 30 frame per second for no reason. And it really like frustrates me because I work hard to get them up to 60 frames a second and all that. So it's not a perfect solution, that's for sure. But it is one of the biggest networks in the world for artists to network. So just got to deal with it, I guess. Let's bring down the strength of this to 0.5 and 0.5. Let's try that out. You know what I'm also going to do? Let's control net the actual mask itself. I think that might be a useful exercise. So after this finishes, we'll try that. Hello, Abby on YouTube. This is really high saturation work, isn't it? I should have saved this one, actually. What's my favorite video bin? Are you asking which video is my favorite that I've uploaded? That's a pretty hard question. I don't know. Ooh, this is cool looking. Look at that. That's pretty fun. I like that a lot. That's so fascinating. Let's interpolate that real quick. Bump it up to 60 frames for fun. Hello to everybody in India. How are you? It's nice to meet you. Do you like my video? It's very low resolution at the moment, but I will probably upscale it after our stream. Yeah, it's pretty cool, right? Okay, so I want to try and experiment real quick. I want to see how this will turn out if I turn off the mask. So if I just unplug these from like the IP adapter, so I'm not going to be masking anything, but I'm still going to include all 4 images in the IP adapter, and by doing so, what's going to happen is the IP adapter is basically just going to mash together all 4 of these images into one cohesive style, but it's not going to like try and independently stitch them into these different masks. It's just going to make one like blob of like 4 disparate styles. So we're going to see what happens when we try and render that out, and we're going to compare it with our last result. I want to see how dramatically different it will be with and without the mask, for my own interest and curiosity. Who knows, it might be a lot better, honestly. How much would you charge me to do a visualizer for my new hip-hop record? Good question. We would have to discuss it, honestly. It would depend on a lot of different variables, like how long the track is, like, is it like a full music video? Is it just like a loop or two, like a 5 or 10 second loop? Happy to talk about it, though, if you want to drop me a DM. More than happy to chat about it. Sounds awesome. So this is pretty interesting. I mean, it's actually super cool, but you can already see a pretty dramatic difference. So the one on the right here is using our mask input with the 4 different colors, whereas this one has it turned off. So it's actually a very interesting comparison. Very interesting to compare those results. Colorful skull. I could see this turning out really cool if I were to upscale it. Animate logo, Civitai badge maker on Civitai, and see logo animation, same as your logo. Yeah, I'm almost certain I've used a very similar workflow to it to make names and logos and stuff. In fact, I think I have one handy because last night I was animating people's names on TikTok in real time. It was a lot of fun. But I think I have like I was making stuff like this. Here. Stuff like this. Like I was, yeah, pretty cool stuff. Which website or app? This is a program that's called Comfy UI. Comfy UI. So now where would I like to take this? What's the render time with and without the mask? Let me see real quick. So without the mask, I'm hoping it'll be the same length of time. Let's take a quick look. So 1 minute without the mask, and then what if I plug the mask back in? So R, G, B, and then black. Let's take a look. Key prompt. Oh, nice. Okay, it's like the same amount of time. That's actually very reassuring. Because I like the masked version slightly more than this one. So that's very reassuring. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to use our mask in two locations. We're going to use it down here as we have traditionally, but now we're also going to plug it into our control net for even further adherence to the mask. At least that's the hope. So let's plug this in there. We'll change our actual control net to a QR monster. The QR monster control net's particularly good at identifying flat layers of solid color. So that's what we're going to use for this. When will I release the Pepsi workflow? I'm not sure if I'm going to release that one. But if I do, I'll certainly announce it on my Instagram, like in my story or something. But I have no immediate plans to upload a workflow at the moment, unfortunately. So now we're going to try this again, but with our new control net in hand. And hopefully it's even more... Oh, wow. This is going to be weird. Oh my god, this is going to be so crazy. Have a good night, Jay Robin. Thank you so much for reaching out. I'll definitely check your message shortly. Might not be tonight, though, because I'm, like, super tired, but probably tomorrow or something. Ooh, this is going to be cool, I can tell. We're going to add an extra control net, though, I think. Oops. Let's do an extra control net here. Ooh, interesting. Okay, I can get behind that. I can get down with that. Not too bad. Let's try a second control net. 0.8, 0.8. Really strict prompt adherence. Let's see how that turns out. There we go. Now it's obeying the mask. Finally, 2 control nets later. But now, as you can see, it's finally in the same composition that we wanted to achieve originally. It's too bad it couldn't achieve that without the control nets out of the box with just the basic masking approach, but hey, at least we figured it out. I can't wait to see how this turns out. How many frames are these? These are like a lot of frames, I think. 60 frames? It's not so bad, I guess. Weird. Super weird. Alright, I'm getting tired, folks. I'm gonna hit the hay. But thanks for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it. We're just on the hour. And I've had a lot of fun, as I always do. I hope you did as well. Hope you got something out of this. So have a good night, and I will see you later. All right, peace.